My video for July the 21st, 2019 is video number 3153. The title is My Reluctance to Support Donald Trump. I'm actually going to read part of another article from Information Clearinghouse. And this is a quote now. This is not me talking. This is Information Clearinghouse. The untold story of Christian Zionism's rise to power in the United States. Quote, Christians United for Israel, CUFI, is but one of many organizations throughout American history that have promoted the state of Israel and Zionism on the grounds that a Jewish ethno-state in Palestine is a requirement for the fulfillment of end times prophecy and necessary for Jesus Christ to return to earth, an event Christians often refer to as the Second Coming. While organizations like CUFI or Sufi, I don't know how you pronounce that, the letters, CUFI, and its predecessors have long seen the creation of the State of Israel in 1948 and the later Israeli victory and conquest of Jerusalem in 1967 as the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. There is one prophecy that this sect of evangelical Christians believes is the only thing standing between them and the Second Coming. There are estimated to be more than 20 million of these Christians, often referred to as Christian Zionists, in the United States, and they are a key voting bloc and source of political donations for the Republican Party. These Christian Zionists, much like religious Zionist extremists in Israel, believe that the however you say, AQSA, mosque, and the Dome of the Rock must be replaced with a third Jewish temple in order to usher in the end times. End quote. Here's the whole article. And it's 2.5 or 1.5 pages plus this little extra closing comment that shows the chart of the ages. Now, Christian Zionism is an offspring of a religious fundamentalist group that I was part of. The Assemblies of God, Southern Baptists, and many of the evangelical Protestant churches are strongly supportive of the whole dispensationalism promoted by people from the 18th century, 19th century, especially 19th century, I guess, and even early 20th century. These people promoting this idea that there are dispensations, we have to have a tribulation period. This is how I was raised, folks. This was teaching that I heard all the time when I was little and growing up. And I believed a lot of it because it's what I was taught was the truth, and supposedly it had a biblical underpinning, and it was supported by the Bible. But so much of what I was taught simply isn't true, and they didn't take into consideration the fact that so much of what is told in the Bible has to be false. How could an omnipotent God be loving and jealous at the same time? I don't get it. I don't get it. There's lots of things I don't get, and I've been struggling. For those of you that have been watching my recent videos, you know I've been really struggling. I'm trying to put these pieces together. But people wonder, why don't you support Trump? I have good friends that are on the Trump bandwagon. His support of Israel is the main reason why I'm reluctant to support Donald Trump, period. And it's the Christian Zionists that got him elected. Without them, he wouldn't even have had a chance to get elected, not even a chance. And so many of his supporters are extreme Zionists. I'm not a Zionist. I am pro-Palestinian. They have been long inhabiting this land, and they've had their land stolen. Many of them have been killed, and it's just an atrocious thing. The modern state of Israel is an anomaly. It should have never happened, but it happened because of people in England and the United States and the international bankers who are not even spiritual or religious people wanted it to happen, because it's all part of a game plan to create dissension so that they can make more money. And it's all about money, folks. In case you haven't noticed, everything is about money. Now, I'm applauding Donald Trump for being in favor of building a wall and stopping illegal immigration. He's not stopping immigration, only illegal immigration. There has to be a procedure. And I agree with that. I'm not against Donald Trump on many of the things that he's doing, but I am suspicious of his alliance with the state of Israel, which I see, along with the United States, as the worst terrorist nations on the planet, bar none. China doesn't interfere in other people's governments and stuff like that. I'm sure that there are people in other countries that try to influence things on a moderate level, but nothing like Christian evangelicalism supporting the state of Israel. That is a big thing, and they want to destroy. I am not Islamic, but they've been there longer. They've established these things. And Turkey, I did a recent video on Turkey. Turkey is an Islamic state. And the United States tries to get these people to go along with them, but it's the Christian Zionist thing now with Trump in the office. They have finally gotten somebody in the office of president that's pushing the agenda of the evangelical Christians, which is why so many voted for him. But the Schofield Bible and all of that stuff is loaded with BS. And Schofield was not a good person, folks. If you've done any studying of who this guy was that created this interpretation of the Bible with the pre-trib rapture or the mid-trib rapture, and this whole idea of a rapture, which I was raised with it, folks. It's not something I don't know anything about. I was raised in this stuff. I've looked at it. I've studied these things. And I encourage others to also try to think with an open mind. But I know when we've been brainwashed, it's hard to get our minds open because we've been told this is the truth. I know what it's like because I've been there myself, and I'm still struggling day by day by day. I'm struggling because so many of my friends do support Donald Trump, and so many black people. I just watched a video just since I uploaded my last video and before I'm recording this one, and it's only less than 2 hours ago, just a little over an hour and a half actually, that I uploaded the last video. And since then I've watched a video by 2 black women that are strongly supporting Donald Trump. And I agree with them. What they were saying, I agree. Trump has been doing a lot of good things, and I can applaud him for that and what he's doing in making America great again to the best of his ability. But that the suspicion comes in with his alliance with Israel, and is still, I'm not convinced that he's really breaking away from the cabal and the international banking conglomerate that has been running roughshod over human rights for eons, folks. As I keep saying, we need to look at the bigger picture, and I'm trying my best to do that, and to put the pieces together, and they don't come together easily. I want you to know that I am struggling, trying to figure out why a loving God would allow such horrible things to go on and on and on for generation after generation for such a long time, with no remedy, with no restitution of the things that were stolen from people, and the natural rights just overridden. It's a crime. Anyway, my time is up. I thank you for listening, and namaste.